Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about another quick tip for digital research. So as you're starting those NHD projects, you want to keep in mind what databases are available to you. Now, remember, your local library, your archives, your historical societies are the best places to find the materials that you need. But if those aren't available to you, then you can utilize things strategically with online research. And one of the databases that we are going to focus on today is Google Books. So Google Books is really great because it searches all full text books and magazines that have been digitized by Google. And Google has digitized a great deal of materials for you to check out. So we want to head over to Google Books, and you can access Google Books by typing in books.google.com. You can also search it through the main engine by typing in your topic or an author and then specifically setting it to books in the drop-down menu on Google. But the best way to do it is to just specifically go to books.google.com. And from here, we can type in a topic or an author and see what's available via Google Books. So in this instance, say that the topic of my NHD project is World's Fairs and Communication. What I can do is check out what books have been published and digitized by Google Books on World's Fairs. So here it'll bring up any materials that have been related to my keyword search. So I get Meet Me at the Fair, a World's Fair reader, which looks at artifacts and the production of World's Fairs and gives me different articles written by scholars and what they had to say about the history of the World's Fair. Or if I go back, I might find things written by academic historians like Robert Rydell. I may also find specific books from the period that talk about World's Fairs. There may be authors, travelers that went to these World's Fairs and then wrote about their experiences. And so that may pop too. So not only have I just found secondary sources to help me in terms of Fair America and Meet Me at the Fair, but I've now also found a primary source from 1892 that talks about different World's Fairs as written by George Miles. Another way is, say you've been mining bibliographies and footnotes from different materials and you keep running into the same historian's name. You'll be able to check them out as well. So in this case, I know that Robert Rydell is the authority on World's Fairs. So I'm going to type his name in and I'm going to search. So not only does it tell me that Robert Rydell is at Montana State University and gives me his bio on what he's been writing currently, but I can also see all of the works that he's published. So we have his World Affairs from 1993, we have his Fair America from 2013, and we have any other works that he's contributed. But what's also really great is if you start to scroll down, you'll notice that other people's books start to pop. And the reason for that is because they've cited Robert Rydell, and Google is pulling that for you. So not only will you get everything that Robert Rydell has published that Google has digitized, but you will get any other materials that mention or include Robert Rydell in their academic works. So it becomes a way to help build your bibliography in that sense. Now, there are a couple things to keep in mind when it comes to Google Books. Not everything is digitized and accessible. It will tell you, it will show you this little preview option if there is something of the book available for you to review. If it doesn't have that preview option, Google hasn't digitized it. You may have to find another place if you want to find that book or take a look at it. The best way to do that is to check with your local library or to go to worldcat.org and see which libraries have either ebooks or a physical copy of the book. So in this case, we do have a preview of Robert Rydell's World Affairs, and we can take a look at it. So you'll get some notes here that sometimes pages are omitted from the book preview, and that means some pages have been scanned, but not all pages, and that's something you want to be careful of, right? You may be reading a paragraph that's really interesting and find out that the next page isn't digitized, and you may again need to go track down an actual copy of that book. But the preview option will allow you to take a look at the book and see if it's something that you really need to focus on and that should be included in your bibliography as you're doing your NHD project. So hopefully this helps you learn how to utilize Google Books to help you craft your NHD project.